Hey guys, welcome back to another video and vlog on my channel. We have been so busy recently. June was an absolute crazy month, but I thought I would take it right back a couple of weeks to my trip to Cologne, Germany. So let me set the scene for you a little bit. Me and one of my favourite humans ever, Izzy, were in McDonald's having done a gym session. It was cold, it was mid-November. We realised we were both really, really big fans of theme parks. Already had a shared love of travelling. And I mentioned Phantasialand because this was a theme park that I went to when I was 15, school, and I said that this was the first time that I ever went on an upside down, like a fully upside down roller coaster, and it changed my life, and I became addicted to roller coasters and rides in theme parks. And my friend Izzy said that she had never been, but she would love to go. On Google, I found the closest city in Germany to this theme park was Cologne. And I said to her, shall we go? A plan was formed. We were going to Cologne, and we were going to Phantasialand, and we were going to do it together. It only took us about 3 months to book it, but we finally went. I met Izzy on the train, and we headed our way to the airport together. We got to our terminal and made our way through security. My bag had to get checked again. Oops. Once we were all checked in, we made our way through to the gates and got ourselves a meal deal. We're waiting for the gate announcement. Izzy's just gone to check the main board, and we're just like sat chilling by one of the gates. We literally just wanted to plug in our phones and charge them and stuff and just sit and eat our food. Had a meal deal, got some water, and then gonna head to the gate soon, I think. Izzy's on her way back now, but yeah. We then sat and charged our phones and played some cards while waiting for the gate to be announced, and then we boarded the flight. I was at the front, Izzy was at the back, so we did have to go into separate doors. It turned out that I was right at the front. Extra leg room, but we can't have any bags, and the table was folded into the arms of the chair. But I mean, I swapped out the middle of that row for the window seat, and while that did mean a little bit of a reduced headroom because of the arch of the plane, it was still a beautiful seat. We get off the plane, we make it through border control very, very quickly. We then had to try and get trains, already 30 minutes late for our check-in at the hostel, but we had let them know beforehand that we weren't going to be coming until a bit later on. We couldn't figure out the train system at all. The machines were confusing, even for the lovely German man who helped us out as well. We did end up missing our train, and we had to wait 20 minutes for the next one, walk about 20 minutes to our hostel. I can't actually say the name, I will put it on the screen, but it's a chain of hostels that is in Germany, Amsterdam, and Italy. There's like hostels throughout all of those countries, and it was very, very nice. We checked in successfully. We were assigned 2 bunks, but no one in our room was in the assigned bunk, so we just took the 2 spare beds. Then we went and ordered a Mackey's with one of the guys in our room, already aware that we had to get up super early and we're going to bed super late. Izzy and I were excited to sleep, however we struggled to nod off. There were a couple of snores in the bedroom, and I would wake up once every hour until about 6 a.m. when I noticed a red flashing light that was visible from my bed. So the way the room was laid out, it was visible only to my bunk, and it was just going off constantly for about an hour. I think because it was a disabled access room, someone had pulled a cord in the bathroom, and this meant that the light was going off because it was an alarm to signal that they needed help. Someone did come knock at the door, which I think was what made me stir awake, but they didn't come in, they didn't check anything, and went and left, and this light was going on continuously until after I left. Me and Izzy are extremely sleep deprived today. We're literally like running on probably what is a generous 4 hours sleep. And we're just on our way to the theme park now. We're such tired girlies. It was a long night, and there was like a weird light going off. 6 of them on the floor, and hostel life in it, but you know, today is the day. We're going to Phantasialand, so cannot wait. We took 2 trams and a bus not recorded in these clips is us having to sprint from one side of the tram line to the other, which was up some stairs and then down some stairs in the same minute to get the tram going in the opposite direction because we were going on the wrong one. However, we did make it by the skin of our teeth and we're very, very pleased with ourselves. It was about 34 degrees on that Saturday, and having downed my water and Izzy having forgot hers, we were so thirsty. We reached a spot just before the shuttle bus, got coffees, and then we went and got the shuttle bus and made our way finally to Phantasialand. Toilet time! It's okay. Toilet time! I need to pee, guys. Oh my god. That was like the easiest entrance ever. Look at the theming! The theming! First ride of the day is Mouse Chocolate. First ride done, guys! We did, what's it? Mouse Chocolate. Yeah. It was very good. Izzy won the game because your girl's aim is shit. So, first big ride of the day was Black Mamba. This was the ride that I'd gone on when I was 15 that had got me over my fear of roller coasters, and that was not for the faint-hearted at all. And then we went straight to Colorado Adventure, which was also a very intense and very fast ride. We decided we needed to relax, so we opted for a more chilled out ride for the next option. Oh my gosh. What's this ride called?
It translates to ghost train.
Ghost train. In German we don't know what that is, but in English it's ghost train. We needed something slower after the big rides. We haven't done Taron yet, but we've done Black Mamba and Colorado, what do you call it, Adventure. There we go. Like, followed this up with, I would say, snail cable car and a big relaxed boat ride, and we then made our way to Fly, which is the first multi-launch inverted coaster. So it's like they hang off the track rather than on top of the track, and it has 2 launches. So this makes it go at record-breaking speeds. You're lying kind of like a superhero or bug or a fly. You're kind of on your front, and we did feel like we were going to fall out of the harnesses, but it was very, very fun and we enjoyed it thoroughly. After Fly, it was time for some food. I got some sort of like pizza thing. Izzy got herself a tofu curry. Food options at Phantasialand are just incredible. Then we wanted to get out of the sun for a little bit, so we chose to go watch one of Phantasialand's shows, Rock on Ice. This sounded horrific, if I'm being real. It sounded cringe, cheesy, and I had very low expectations going in. Even though Izzy had said the shows were supposed to be really good, I still kind of was a bit skeptical. However, it was an incredible show. I feel like you'd pay at least £30 for this alone, and because we had paid £60 for the whole day. Amazing. The cast had incredibly talented figure skaters who are Olympic level athletes. They've been on many shows across. They're very professional ice skaters and performers. And it was just absolutely amazing. The entire cast was absolutely gorgeous, so you didn't want to take your eyes off them, but not that you could. They had so many daring jumps and stunts. You couldn't stop watching them. Weren't allowed to film, but just take my word for it, okay? Just take my word for it. After the show, we went straight on both water rides, Chapas and River Quest. Chapas was your classic log flume, and River Quest comprised of a larger, rounder boat, and it was, its own series of splashes and slopes. Also had an elevator which would rise you up high and then drop you at an angle down into the course. But absolutely drenched. Such a hot day, and we dried off very, very quickly, and both queues were the fullest they had been all day. We got through them both very, very fast. We did Rake next, which was another big ride, and we actually managed to get ourselves at the front. That's ridiculous. That's so cool. It's one of those ones that goes up and then down backwards, and then keeps going until it meets back in the middle and slows back down. Can't believe I was at the front. It was my first roller coaster ride where I was at the front. Definitely a bucket list activity. And then it was time for the big one. Taron, the world's biggest multi-launch coaster and one of Phantasialand's greatest rides. Honestly, it was incredible. I have rode this at 15 with my school friends, but the thing for me about roller coasters is I cannot remember them once I'm not on them anymore. So until you're back on it, you don't really remember how it actually feels. And it was amazing. Did need a moment when we finished just for our brains to relocate themselves in our skulls and to drink some water, but it was an insane ride. The next ride we went on was the drop tower, known as Mystery Castle. This ride was good, with 4 sections going up and down at once. The lights, which lit up, could show you how high you were, and also how high the other 3 sections of the ride were. And then you were all kind of dropped randomly at different times and different intervals and different heights, and you could hear each other screaming, and the lights would go off, and you just didn't know what was going on exactly, and it kind of created a sense of disorientation, but it was so much fun. I did feel like it was over very, very quickly. It was still very good. There was also a dragon mascot. Imagine that being your drop. Like, watched another show called Best of the Best, which was very good. Although, in my opinion, nowhere near as good as the first one, but it was still really, really good. Almost High School Musical-esque, with the premise being 2 rival basketball playing gangs, tightrope dancing, trampolining, basketball shots, amazing breakdancing, and they did dance to get your head in the game, and I don't dance, which made me very happy. I'm not 100% the exact order of the day, and I definitely have missed something out, but I think next we went to get a Kinder Bueno crepe because we both wanted a sweet treat. Crepe was very good and we enjoyed it thoroughly. After this, we went and rode Colorado Adventure again, which it felt way faster. Like, it did feel way faster than the first time, so whatever the science behind that is, I do not know, but it was. We tried Phantasialand's kind of answer to the ride Hex at Alton Towers, which was called the Madhouse Fame Palace. This was an illusion-based ride, in which the premise that I kind of picked up was a couple were getting married, and an evil villain stole his bride, and they kind of had a fight, and they were arguing over her, and it was fighting each other with swords. We went into the wedding, and this was the ride, which just was a pirate ship kind of style thing, and then the walls would spin round, so you thought you were going upside down. If you haven't been on Hex, you won't know exactly what I mean, but if you have, you can probably picture it. But it was just based on this wedding of the Chinese couple, and I think if we spoke German, we might have been able to understand it better. So do take my opinion with a pinch of salt. But I think this was not as good as the Alton Towers version, and probably one of the only rides in Phantasialand that England, in my experience at least, had done better than it. After this, we went back to Fly as our last ride of the day. We went through the queue really, really fast. We were like literally speeding through the entrance to the ride. After this ride, told Izzy that I had been chucked around enough, so I was happy to head once we had had a quick look in the shops. We had a quick browse. Izzy bought a gorgeous melted chocolate tea towel, and I bought Jordan a teeny stuffed monkey for some reason, like his little head thing. And then we made our way back to the shuttle bus to go home. Tram back was absolutely packed to the brim, and we were forced to stand up, which was annoying for 2 sleep-deprived girls who had literally been out for the best part of 14 hours and on their feet for 96% of the day. They ordered us a Too Good To Go bag from an Indian in the centre of Cologne, and we did try and make a quick stop at Cathedral en route, as we had about an hour to kill before picking that up, but I didn't have anything to cover up with, so we weren't allowed into the cathedral. We were going to do that the next day anyway. It was just kind of to see if we could kill time by doing that. And then we went and got a snack, which ended up being quite a big meal of a German veggie wurst for Izzy, and a very, very culturally appropriate taste of the local cuisine for me, some chicken nuggets and chips. This was a bigger portion than I had anticipated, and Izzy did share my chips, so it did make her portion quite a lot bigger as well, and we ended up getting the Indian curry, and I ate very little of it because I was so full, but we still enjoyed ourselves. We sat by the river and did, like, I played on my phone, Izzy did her Sudoku, and we just relaxed until we'd eaten enough food, and then we went back to the hostel. As we got off the tram, we did run into two of our roomies, and we were very naturally tired. So when we got back, we went straight to bed. Monday morning, even though it was the last day, we had the full day in Cologne, so we did take our time getting up, but we're out the door and on our way to the cathedral to have a nosy, and then make our way again to get another Too Good To Go bag from the Hilton Hotel at 10 a.m. Promised a bag of baked bread and baked goods. We were expecting croissants, kind of like pastry, and it was just a bag full of bread. This was enough to probably feed a small army, and we had this bag of bread with us for the rest of the day. Could eat bread on its own. I think I was a duck in a past life, so I have no worries about eating it plain, but Izzy wants to get some stuff, so we go to a shop called Penny's and need caffeine, so we decided to go get a little coffee from somewhere. This was a good coffee, I really enjoyed it. And then we made our way to the Lindt Museum. After all of the bread, the free chocolate definitely pushed me over the edge. I was so full, but the Lindt Museum was so interesting, and we got to see a lot of our favourite Lindt products being made and produced in front of us. Well worth a visit if you are ever in Cologne. Once finished, we returned to our spot from the previous night on the grass in front of the river. We popped into a cafe to get some drinks, sat staring at the skyline, and after a little relax, we made our way to the train station, where we caught the final train of our German trip to the airport directly. Still armed with the bread, we said goodbye to that trusty paper bag and remaining roll in the airport and made our way through security. With the sad realization that McDonald's wasn't accessible from our side of the terminal, we ambled through duty free. We filled our water bottles and charged our phones, sat near our gate, just watching it, ready to go queue up. My seat did not last, and I was squashed in the middle seat on the flight home. The guy in the aisle seat was at least 6 foot and a clear gym lad, sat spread out and taking as much room up as possible. I don't fully blame him, but he did also sit and try and use Twitter on his phone in the middle of the sky without airplane mode on, so I thought he probably wasn't the most considerate or aware person in that situation. The guy on my other side was probably too accommodating, ducking out of the way from my window photos and probably squishing himself too far into the plane wall to make sure I had enough room, even though I was sat like this the whole time. But I was very, very grateful when I did eventually get off the plane. During our descent, I did notice that as we were landing in Manchester, I could see what kind of looked like fog around Deansgate Towers. I was confused for a moment. I didn't really know what was going on. I kind of thought I was flying to a different city, but I think that was because I was delirious from all the travel. But didn't really give it a second thought once I'd hopped off the plane, noticing that all the trains were cancelled. Me and Izzy were kind of in this we need to get home kind of mindset, so we were figuring out the best route, and Izzy called her mum to get her back home because she lives in Cheshire, which from Manchester Airport, that would cost a lot to get a taxi, and I was going to have to get a couple of trams, which was going to take me an hour and a half at least. My sister had actually messaged me and asked if I was okay because there had been a fire, and upon further inspection, the fog that had been around Deansgate Towers and the cancelled trains, it all made sense. A listed building in Manchester, the old Alt Press building near Oxford Road, had caught on fire. Twitter was ablaze with the rumours about the fire. And so once I was sure everyone was safe, I passed the time on the tram by reading every angry tweet and conversing with my sister about the conspiracy theories surrounding the fire. And then I made my way home, stopping at Sainsbury's to get a meal deal and heading back finally to my flat, where I collapsed on the sofa, ate my meal deal, called my dad, updating him essentially on what was the contents of this video, and then went to bed, ready for work the next day in a Dua Lipa concert. Brutal. Germany was an absolute movie and one of the best experiences of my life, and I honestly was so grateful that I had Izzy doing it with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, because I will be doing more kind of travel style videos like this, and it will give me a reason to go away again, so you know.